Start of the last quarter at the Western Oval, and Footscray, who have kicked inaccurately, they lead by 27 points. They're 6-18, 54. Fitzroy 4-3, 27. A kick at centre half back by Ford. Out wide, Cronin. Can he beat Kapler to the ball? No, because Kapler is so quick. Cronin does well, taps it over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in between wing and half forward, slightly favouring the Bulldogs. Footscray have outplayed Fitzroy, and they deserve their 27-point advantage at the start of the last quarter. Rance doing the ruck work. Chance for Pekin up high. Cronin. Fitzroy players struggling hard, but they just haven't been able to get it together at the Western Oval. Umpire Woodhead decides on a bounce.
Purser is back on the ground for the final turn, having rested for about the last 5 minutes of the third quarter. And here's a mark to Tatsaris, centre wing, up towards centre half forward. Foster and Ruse once again, we've said that plenty of times today. Picked up by Ruse, away to Harris, congested in the middle, nowhere to go. Eventually Armstrong, and a good running mark taken by Ford, who kept running, skirted around them, banged it back 45 metres. Foster jammed in the middle. It comes to Petraglia. Good kick, one out, Beasley. Didn't get the third touch. Liberatore at the front. And it bounces out of bounds in the left forward pocket.
Beasley's in trouble. Calling for the trainers. Hurt his hand, thumb, or
looks like a dislocated finger or something along those lines, Robbo.
Rendell taps it away towards the square. Pekin to Laurie. Laurie, left foot kick towards the centre. Baxter, not many possessions, but his opponents found it difficult, and he holds it in. Ruse on the bottom of it. There's Simon Beasley in the hands of the trainers. He may have picked that in one, Bernie. Ouch.
Yes, they're looking like they're trying to pull his finger back into place.
Purser gets another tap out, but he's given away a free kick, and it'll go to Rendell on the defensive side of centre, looking to handball it on. Forced to kick now, high towards centre half forward. It hasn't worked all day. Free kick to Footscray and bump out, according to umpire Robinson against Osborne, Richard Osborne, and it'll go back to half back and be taken by Eccleston. Eccleston kicks it long towards centre half forward for Footscray, and the mark's been taken by Petraglia.
In between wing and half forward. Beasley coming off for Footscray. Knocked away by Ruse. Beasley might have been there had he not been injured. They're playing with 17 right now. Cousins comes on to replace him. Purser crashing into that pack. It comes to the front. Petraglia, long and high. Liberatore outmarked easily by Harris, who had to sit on him and planted the boot right in the middle of number 38.
Harris feeds it off to Wynn. Wynn, left foot kick from half back, up towards the wing, and great recovery by Purser.
8th mark for the game. He's also had 12 kicks, 12 hand passes.
Up to centre half forward, at the back, Wynn. Can't control it, tackled by Liberatore, handball wide, Laurie. On further forward, Thornton's caught. Here's Cullen for the Bulldogs, he can't break clear. Tackled by Thomas, Cousins too slow, can't adjust. Just come off the interchange bench. Thornton, inboard, Clayton, forced to kick quickly, out to the forward pocket, outer side of the ground. Baxter leads in the race for the ball. His opponent, Knight, and Baxter sees the safety of the boundary line, and it goes over for another throw in some 45 metres around from Fitzroy's goal. Footscray lead 54-27. They're double Fitzroy's score, and we've played 3 minutes into the last quarter.
Purser wins another tap. Kapler. And a fine mark to Keane on the 50-metre line. Dead side of the ground. Although the breeze is not very strong here today at the Western Oval. Fitzroy have managed just 4 goals to three-quarter time, goalless in the third quarter. Right to the goal square, and it's rushed through for a behind.
Yes, and really, it's hard to see Fitzroy getting back into this game. They've been completely outplayed.
They had 5-1.
I don't want it.
54 plays 28. Kennedy kicks it into half-back, outer side of the ground. Good effort for a mark, but it's been paid by umpire Robinson. And it'll go to Footscray's Murray Rance. who kicked a miracle goal in the third quarter, and here he is in defence. Kicks it long towards the wing. High flyers wanted, up over the top. Chance for Cullen, can't control it. Cronin, loose ball. McGuinness taps it on. Boundary line too close, and we'll have a throw in just underneath the Footscray coach's box, which should show a fairly satisfied look of people up there. Michael Malthouse, Ray Walker and company. Boundary throw in. Harris back to Blakey. Blakey's kick high. Baxter. He's there again. Can he break clear? No. He's tackled well by Fitzroy. Held to him, according to umpire Robinson, and a bounce will take place only a matter of 5 or 7 metres away from the centre circle.
Fitzroy players there couldn't believe that wasn't a free kick. Comes to Wallace. Petraglia goes out wide to Rance. Good kick to centre half forward. Foster and Roos, it goes to the back. Liberatore fumbled. Laurie there, kicks across the half back line. Goes to Royal, and going past him, Petraglia. Left foot poke for goal. Hits the post.
Like Angelo Petraglia's father. Kick in by Laurie, kicks it to himself. Now he goes over the top to Graham Osborne. What a shocking mistake. They might just get out of it because Hannaberry was a little stiff. He slipped at the crucial stage, and a ball up will take place only 35, 40 metres. It's going to be thrown up in the air by umpire Woodhead. 40 metres out. Rendell back. Pekin, who's done well. He's tried hard. McGuinness back to Hannaberry. Hannaberry's right foot kick to the goal square. No mark taken. Rance struggles hard to control it and hit the behind post, and it goes over the line for a boundary throw-in. Hard up against the behind post, deep into Footscray's scoring zone.
Cousins and Rendell lock horns. Liberatore. All wind went back into the pack. Umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. And Footscray in attack again. Doug Barwick's about to come back on for Fitzroy. McIver going off. Metres out. Rance wins the tap. Cronin to Royal. Kick well smothered by Thornton. Goes to Graham Osborne. Puts it out wide. Clayton had to wait for it. Now Thomas. There's only one Fitzroy player forward of the centre circle when that kick was actually delivered. Now they've run up into attack. Graham Osborne, but still all Footscray. Cordy. Purser, best on ground in his 100th game.
Elegant left foot kick by Purser, goes towards centre half forward, marked by his opposition in Rendell. Over the top for Petraglia, at the back Knight. Knight for Fitzroy tidies up and kicks it out towards the wing. No mark taken. There's that man forward. But the kick on by Kapler, well intercepted by Eccleston. Here's a chance for Cronin. Can he get clear? He handballs wide. Wallace. He goes further wide to Ford, and there's that Footscray defence, impenetrable, up towards centre half forward. The mark taken by Cousins.
Yes, they've been too good today, Footscray. They've had numbers to the packs.
Short kick by Cousins has been marked by Ford, and this man could cap off a sensational game by kicking a goal. He's played a terrific game at half-back. 15th kick coming up for Michael Ford. The Bulldogs lead by 27 points. 55 plays 28. Ford punts for goal. Has it got the distance? Yes. It certainly had the accuracy. And Michael Ford kicks the Bulldogs' 7th goal. They're 7-19. 61. And they lead by 33 points. Fitzroy 4-4-28.
Here's Ford again. He brought it out of the back line. Positioned it beautifully for Cousins, who had to fly over Pekin. And Michael Ford kept on running down to the forward flank, and Cousins popped it over to him.
No hope Fitzroy now. They still haven't managed a goal in the second half as yet. Purser wins another tap. Knocked forward by Knight. He goes in to apply the tackle on Liberatore. Whistle's gone. It'll be a ball up.
Gee, they've been desperate, Footscray, around the packs.
I think they've earned a drink tonight. They have played a great game.
Bounce favours Knight for Fitzroy. Left foot kick out of it goes to Armstrong. He can't mark. The fumble could be costly. Kepler's there to back up. It's hard up against the boundary line. Chance now for Tatsaris, who's played well too. He was one of the 6, and he breaks clear. Kicks it well. Centre half forward. Crumb gatherers are there in the form of McGuinness. Can he get away? No. Left-hand hand passes. High, wide, inaccurate. Pekin to Wynn, Harris. Osborne, Wind again, has run on well. He can't control it. Intercepted by Tatsaris. Liberatore, high towards the wing. No mark taken. Wallace there for Footscray. Back onto the left foot. Kicks it up to half forward. Mark taken by Royal. On to Cronin. Cronin sees a player further afield in Petraglia, and he doesn't let him down. And what a weak effort by Knight.
Yes, he caught it right there, Robbo. We really should have been able to knock that one away from him.
Petraglia further forward finds Royal, and they've gained about 7 metres. But the little Footscray vice-captain has a chance to kick his first goal for the afternoon, which is very strange. Unselfishly gives it back to Angelo Petraglia, and they've gone forward about 11.6 metres. Perhaps the angle is a little better. Petraglia has already kicked 2 behinds. He comes in and punts for goal, and he's on line over the top of the men, right on the goal line. And he kicks another goal for Footscray. 8 goals, 19, 67. And they lead by 39 points. Fitzroy 4-4, 28.
And Fitzroy have not been able to manage a goal since half-time. 4-1 at half-time. They've managed a measly 3 behinds in the second half.
At one stage, Footscray had kicked about 2.14, so they've been on target since then. Cronin, good running up from defence. Cordy, bang, he goes with a long one. Big pack. In front, Rance, no mark. Good handling, McGuinness. Threads a hand pass through. Off the ground by Stevens, losing ground but finding the safety of the boundary line for a throw in down towards the forward pocket.
There's Leon Harris, who's tried very hard for the Lions.
Tony McGuinness coming off, played the state game. He's one of the state reps who's done well today and being replaced by Mark Aythorne.
The ball in the centre, and Footscray will go into attack again. That's centre half forward, a big punch by the Fitzroy defence. Chance for Tatsaris. His quick kick out towards the wing. Baxter leading Barwick. Perhaps looking for the free kick as Darren Baxter, but he goes on with it. Handball over the top to Wallace. Wallace's kick into the pocket has found the man who just came on, Aythorne. Long kick towards full forward. In the back against Cousins. Play on says the umpire, and the mark has been awarded to Leon Harris. He transfers play. Straight across goal. Graham Osborne back to his brother Richard. Richard out wide towards half-back, member side of the ground. Thornton under pressure. Kicks it straight to Eppelston. And Eppelston does it well. Oh, good play by the young fellow. Cool as a cucumber to Purser, who balks and tackles. Fred Astaire stuff by Andrew Purser. Into the pocket. Footscray behind. Fitzroy in front. And the mark to Brett Stevens for the Lions.
Classy play by Greg Eppelston back near the wing. Richard Osborne, who's been in attack, in defence and on the bench. Graham Osborne, who started on the bench. Up high towards centre wing. Dumped away from Roos, goes to Aythorne, and Richard Osborne marks behind half-back. Switches direction. Poor kick. Petraglia marks at centre half forward. A fraction too far out to score. Nobody in the goal square for Footscray. He goes wide towards the pocket. Royal with the sit. Almost a big mark. to the little rover. Comes to Foster, who paddles. Royal again, second chance. 30 metres out. Great goal.
Tremendous stuff, Royal. He's been one of the Footscray smaller players that absolutely killed Fitzroy. Here he is flying for the mark. Osborne and Royal tried to kick it off the ground at the same time, but a clever knock-on also by Foster. Back to Royal, and a magnificent snap from 40 metres out. 28 possessions for Brian Royal, and he's played a top game for the Bulldogs.
It's all Footscray in the last quarter. Here they go again. Wallace over the top. Cronin, can he gather? Back onto the left foot. They seem to get away with it all the time, left footers. High towards half forward. Good mark. Rance. Jubilation on the face of the Footscray supporters. Rance plays on. Kicks it towards full forward for a poor placement of his kick. Marked by Pekin. Pekin out wide, the half back. And the mark taken by Blakey.
Blakey to the wing. Roos with Ford on him now. Well played, Ford. Liberatore kick smothered. Oh, and that hurt. The smother. That's
He's in
Armstrong.
trouble too, Armstrong. It looks like he's copped it in the ribs.
Armstrong straight off the ground. Yep. Didn't look good, did it? Back to Clayton. Up toward inside half forward. Keane kept it in. Wind lost control of it. Comes back to it. Back to Clayton. Still under pressure. Footscray still putting a heap of pressure on defensively. And here's a defensive mark taken by Wallace. To Ford, who fumbled this one. Chance for Blakey. Poor kick. Wallace again. Used his body well then to get himself out of trouble and forces a ball up and draws warm applause.
They've kicked wildly and blindly today, Fitzroy, and that was another typical example. John Blakey just got the ball, never looked, and just had a wild kick.
Ball at centre half forward. A snapshot for goal by Roos is through. The goal to Fitzroy.
And that's the first goal for them since half-time, and we're at the 16-minute mark in the last quarter.
Well, it draws enormous response from the Fitzroy fans in the outer. I'd say they'd go home very, very disappointed because Fitzroy would have come out here today expecting to win. Conditions, nothing against the conditions. It's been a very mild day for the Western Oval. And Footscray have completely annihilated the Lions. They're 73 to 34 and we're 17 minutes into the last quarter.
And their last goal was at the 19-minute mark of the second quarter, so it was nearly 2 entire quarters goals.
The ball at half-back. Stevens. Chance now for Blakey. The last dish effort for the Lions. Here's a chance for Thomas. Threw it to Barwick. Barwick inside 50 metres. Punch for goal. It's a good-looking kick by Barwick. It's another goal within 90 seconds. 6-4. 40, 33 points in arrears of the Bulldogs, who are 19, 73.
Beautiful hand pass out from Keith Thomas. And Doug Barwick, a beautiful kick on the run from 50 metres out. But that's one of the rare occasions he's been able to break away from the close tagging of Darren Baxter.
It's a pity it's not going to have any effect on the game, but that was a great goal. Rendell wins this time and then gets a kick at it out of the middle. Roos now at centre half forward on to Clayton. High up towards half forward flank. Graham Osborne backs himself. Doesn't quite get away but gets it to Keane. Nobody up forward for Fitzroy. Ford had time to roll a cigarette and watch that ball go out of bounds.
18 minutes into the last quarter, Footscray lead by 33 points. The ball in the forward pocket. It's a snapshot for goal for Fitzroy, and it's been marked as cool as you like by Zeno Tatzaris. They're looking to kick to the outer side of the ground, across the face of goal, outside the 50-metre line. No mark paid. Play on, says the umpire. Ruse on the bottom of it. Flicks it out the back, looking for Harris. Footscray will come clear. Petraglia. Rance it was who got it out. Up towards centre half forward. Wing under pressure. Good tackle by Foster. Liberatore. Stevens under pressure from Liberatore. The Bulldogs, Athorn. Win now. Kicks it off the ground, out towards the boundary line. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in, some 60 metres around from the Footscray goal. And some interested Footscray fans watching the outcome of the match.
Well, Fitzroy have kicked the last 2 goals, but Footscray wouldn't want to relax because they need a percentage boost in such a tight bunch of teams just in and outside the 5. And with the losing score at the moment, 40 points, there's a chance to boost their percentage. Cousins wins to Liberatore. Athorn near the boundary line. Tried to centre it and kicked it about 12 rows back. Out of bounds on the full free kick to Kapler. And a possession to a man in a dry as a bone way up on the top of the hill.
Pekin to take the ball for Fitzroy and half back. Towards centre half back. Petraglia. Up towards centre half forward. Graham Osborne gathers it well. He's done well since he's come on the field. Up towards Ruse. Ruse around the neck by Petraglia. Ball up, says the umpire. When the ball did run free. Well, one wonders. Purser and Rendell, who've struggled hard against each other. Purser's taken the honours. The ball running free. Clayton can't break clear. Now he does. Wallace in there now. Liberatore does it well. Liberatore's kick up towards full forward. Cousins and Laurie fall over. Richard Osborne in the back pocket. Left foot kick over the boundary line for a throw in 35 metres around from the Footscray goal. The Bulldogs by 33 points, and we're 21 minutes into the last quarter.
Fitzroy led by a point at quarter time. Footscray by 7 at half time and 27 at 3/4 time. And they've extended it in this last quarter. That would be a ball up. And Tsatsaris coming off the ground for Footscray. Tony McGuinness going back on. The result beyond doubt. Back towards the centre. 40 was it to full forward. And a good mark in front taken there by Stevens. Back he goes to win. Blakey will have to be good here. There were 3 Footscray players there, so he needed to take that mark. And Hanbury getting a bit upset. Umpire Robinson telling Hanbury, there's the mark, stand there, son. Blakey takes the kick wide to win.
Win. High towards the centre. Oh, nearly a good mark to McIver. Picked up by Leon Harris, who's done well. Up towards half forward, Keane. Handball puts Pekin under enormous pressure. And he gets the free kick. At centre half forward for Fitzroy. Plays on, left foot kick wide. Keane. Chased by Wallace. Gets the left foot to the ball. Up into the forward pocket area. And the mark taken by young Eccleston. Bounced, and he probably didn't have to. Now kicks high towards half back. 3 Fitzroy players, 1 Footscray player. Pekin onto Harris. Harris up towards full forward. No mark taken. Ford nearly on the end of a good left hook, but broke clear. Out wide to the wing. Over the top. Here's Pekin for Fitzroy. Gets the handball back. Blakey in towards centre half forward. Mark taken by Graham Osborne in front of young Mark Cullen. Play on. Over now to Stevens. Stevens at centre half forward. Punts for goal. Up high. Mark taken as casual as like by Wanderon superstar Greg Eccleston. Out towards half back. All the high flyer Pekin. Potential mark of the day. Leon Harris towards full forward. And the mark's been taken by Ross Thornton about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Well, it's a pity Fitzroy haven't put in like the way they have in this last quarter right throughout the match, because they've really lifted when the game's all over.
Kick by Thornton. Won't quite make it. Goal square job. Eccleston again, number 12. Put that down on the map. Rance. Cronin. In he goes to Cullen. Up towards centre wing. Royal. He hasn't slackened off after playing for the state during the week. Petraglia onto McGuinness. He hasn't slackened off either after playing for South Australia. His hand pass blocked, but he went back for it. Good pump by Graham Osborne, and Petraglia felt the full brunt of it and is caught holding the ball.
Oh, very unlucky. Bumped him fair in the back, I thought, Robbo.
Graham Osborne, who did the tackling, off to Philip Knight. Knight into the centre. Good mark, or attempted mark. Play on. Clayton, wide to Thornton. Thornton inside half forward. 55 metres out, goes for goal. It could bounce through. Very close. In the forward pocket for Fitzroy. Now it's kicked over the boundary line for a throw-in by the Footscray defender in Baxter. Rick Kennedy, the captain, geeing his players on. He wants to win by a bigger margin. They're 33 points in front, 73 to 40.
McIver wins the tap. It goes to Aythorne, who is caught high and will take the free kick. And Mark Aythorne came from Essendon, playing his third league game. 70 metres out from goal, and Cronin, mark not paid, goes to Roos, into Blakey. Fitzroy doing all the attacking late in the game. McIver, goal coming up here perhaps, and it goes to Armstrong, who has kicked it. Matthew Armstrong, his first goal, recruited from Hobart this year. And Footscray have let them back into the game a bit.
Yes, they seem to have slackened off a little bit. And Fitzroy doing their best work at the closing stages of the game.
Into time on in the last quarter, 27 points Footscray lead by. At one stage over 40 points in front in this last quarter. Purser, well read by Harris. Purser does it well. Cullen, Petraglia, the Bulldogs. Petraglia goes for goal. It might roll through. No, it's been marked by Cousins anyway. And Cousins only 8 metres out directly in front. A chance to kick Footscray's 10th goal. Couldn't miss from there, and he doesn't. He kicks a 60-metre kick right over the top of the Chalmers transport sign, and the Bulldogs go on to a 33-point advantage. We're 1 minute into time on in the last quarter.
Again, Purser was the man who started this forward move. And Petraglia kicked a beautiful kick down to Cousin, who shows he can take a good mark as well as play in the ruck. And couldn't have missed it from 10 metres out, Robbo.
I don't know whether that was the original ball they got back. Must have brought it back in a taxi. Well, it's back in the middle now. And the dying minutes of this game will be an easy win to Footscray. Centre square infringement, and the free kick will go to Purser. Just help his stats a little bit more. He has been dominant. There's the siren, and Footscray have indeed won it, beating the Lions, who were 7 places ahead of them on the ladder. Footscray 10-19-79 to Fitzroy's 7 goals for 46. And a meritorious victory there to Footscray, led by Andrew Purser in his 100th game of league football, and there he goes up the race. But also with some of the younger players like Eccleston, Cullen, Liberatore. Aythorne did a few good things when he came on late in the game. Just players with a handful of league games behind them, and they all contributed well. And their defensive half was superb, led by captain Rick Kennedy. And there he goes, number 8, up the race. The goal scorers for Footscray, who didn't manage a big score, 10 goals in a winning score, not much. In fact, their points for is the lowest of the 14 teams in the competition this year. Foster scored 2 goals, and then we had singles to Cousins, McGuinness, Rance, Beasley, Royal, Petraglia, Liberatore and Ford. And for Fitzroy, Their goals came from Stevens, who got 2, and singles to Roos, Thomas, Barwick, Armstrong and Keane. So after Footscray led by 7 points at half-time, mainly due to their inaccurate kicking, they got a bit on target after that to finish with 10-19 after being 3-14 at half-time. They led by 27 points at three-quarter time and ran out winners by 33 points.